enjoy this content because not only have I prepared it, but there's quite a bit of research that goes into this. There's a book called How Big Things Get Done. This is a book by Bent Kleiberg and Dan Gardner. In this book, they have over 16,000 representative buildings, from large complex architectural buildings, bullet trains, dams, bridges, all the way to custom homes. What they found in this book is that most of the difficulty in our personal lives and our professional lives and our inability to have a balance comes down to planning projects. Check this out. There's a 1/3, 2/3 rule that the military uses where any assignment that you're going to be given, you must be given a third of that time to plan. In construction projects, we still have scenarios shown down here below where it's either a design bid build project or the PM planned it and the superintendent literally gets the plans and the specs and they're breaking ground next week and that person is told, hey, good luck, go ahead and plan that project while you're starting, right? I just want everybody to know this can't continue to happen. We're never going to fix what's wrong with our industry until we start planning at least in the overall duration of the construction project, at least take that as a proportion of 2/3 and spend 1/3 planning. Telling a superintendent or a site manager, wherever you are in the world, that they get to go plan a project while they're breaking ground is like taking any one of you and saying you have to go give a speech in front of 5,000 people and you have 5 minutes to prepare. And oh, by the way, you're getting paid $100,000 to do this. It's just not a thing. It's immoral and unethical to hold a superintendent or a project team accountable for a project that they did not plan. So if you want to know what the root cause to most of this is, it's that we no longer plan the projects anymore. We needed to, if the project was 2/3 of the time, we needed to spend 1/3 of the time in planning 100%. So there's a concept called think slow and act fast. With construction projects, they are too big, they are too complex to not do this, right? We should be planning, anchoring to past experience, assessing and preventing risks, doing Pixar planning, which means that we have multiple iterations in the planning phase, build the project on paper first and include the builders. But I have this big red X here because we don't do it. So by the time most of you hit a project site, you don't even have the chance to catch up because of this problem. We should be able to plan, build, and finish as we go. In our industry, we don't do the planning. We do a decent job of trying to build it, and we barely finish projects. That's not a dig. I'm just saying that if you head in this direction and you don't fix this, we're already a step behind. So I want to show you this graphic. This is like one of my favorite graphics of all time, honestly. Every project has problems, every single one. And you will not be on a project that doesn't have a problem. You will never find one. So your project that you're on, or your company or your department, you have problems. And I've drawn 8 of them here. You can either find those problems during construction, or you can find them in pre-construction and plan away from them. That's the bottom line. So when we do not take the time to plan projects and we go off of wishful thinking, we're going to find those problems during construction. We are going to run late, and that's going to be super expensive and damaging to your career. And here's the kicker. You will not go home on time. You will not live a happy life. You will not go to your son's or your daughter's baseball game. It won't happen because you are so busy in firefighting mode, you will not get home. So step number 1, if you really want to live a good work-life balance, we have got to start planning projects. We have got to dig in and tear them apart and find those problems on paper before they happen in the field if we ever want to get to a good place. Now, let me give you some staggering statistics here. This is all from the book, How Big Things Get Done. Out of 100% of projects in this study of over 16,000, only 47.9% of them were on budget. Only 8.5% of them were on budget and on time. And only 0.5% of them were on budget, on time, as planned, as promised to the owner. The reality is, when we don't plan projects, these are our numbers. And when we don't plan projects, the average over budget is 65%. The average behind schedule is 58 days behind substantial completion. And projects can go so bad that they're 800 to, and the one in the study that's maxed out is at 1,990% over budget, and it correlates also with time. This is devastating. This is absolutely devastating, and we just 100% have to fix it. So if you want to really do a good job and get a good work-life balance, you have got to plan that project. Every project should begin with, at a minimum, a tax plan with zone maps or a master schedule with zone maps, a procurement log that is already steering procurement direction that is managed by the general contractor with the trades, a fully vetted logistics plan plan that has analyzed your ability to get materials to the place of work, a completely designed trailer and signage design so that your team can be happy, healthy, and organized inside that project, an org chart that allocates the proper amount of people, and a risk and opportunity register that tells you where your biggest risks are and how you're going to mitigate them before you ever begin. Here's a fact: over 60% of a project success is determined before you're noticed to proceed. That is a historical fact.